My honey. My darling. Let me sugar baby.
Andrew, when you get home, telephone Jay's people and tell them what happened.
Andrew, where is he? For God's sake, where is he?
What do you mean?
Where did you take him?
To Robert's.
Yes. Roberts. Bless you, Andrew. Jay. Darling. Dear heart, are you in here? Oh, Jay. Jay. Oh, my God.
Don't you fret, everybody. I'm gonna see us through this grievous day. Jim Wilson, you get in here. You're gonna spend the afternoon with your cousin Rufus and you play nice with him, Sally. Andrew, I want to take Mary and Ma and Pa and the Chalmers. You follow me with the others. How you feeling, Pa? You be brave, Ma. You just be brave.
Just leave me be, Ralph.
I'm gonna be 2 sons to you now, Ma. I'll be as many sons as you need.
Just leave me be.
Anybody else needs me, I'll be right outside.
I do wish they'd get back from Robert's, Joel, and it's getting late.
Oh, I feel so bad about this dress, Mother Follett.
You look fine, Sally.
I wish it were black.
Imagine being young enough not to have a black dress. If a woman has a usual life, one black dress will see her through it.
I beg pardon?
She really don't hear good, do she?
There's Grandma sitting up on that mountain for 103 years. And here's me down here with 2 attacks to my credit. And still Jay's the one that has to go. Not Jay. Never Jay.
Now, Pa.
I was all ready to go.
What do you think of that? With a deceased brother and undertaker, and willing to do the generous thing, still she puts him in the hands of a stranger. Did you ever hear such things then?
It's right for your brother to be buried here. Here's where his home was.
Well, that don't make sense. He spent 2/3 of his life in La Follette and only 1/3 here in Knoxville. You just didn't think of me. Never even thought of me, did you?
No.
My own brother. My only brother.
My only husband.
All right for you, Mary. All right for you.
Come along, Rufus.
There's Rufus now.
I saw my daddy.
Come to Grandma.
Come sit on Grandma's lap.
Well, I never.
She didn't hear you, Miss Follett. No offense.
I keep forgetting.
Hi, Mary.
Yes, Papa.
Well, I'll just put Jim Wilson in the downstairs bedroom for his nap, if that's all right.
That's all right, Sally. Rufus, Mama has to leave now. You stay with Grandma Lynch. You be very good and very quiet.
I'm glad he's dead!
Was he drunk?
Mary.
On top of everything else, a priest.
Was my husband drunk?
A Follett in the hands of a
Was
priest.
he drunk? Ralph. Ralph. You were with him all afternoon, Ralph. Now, I have to know. You tell me.
I ain't gonna tell you, Mary. You thought of me the night that he died, but you didn't want me. I ain't gonna tell you nothing.
We must go, Mary.
I ain't gonna tell you nothing.
What's she gonna do?
Ralph, are you all right to drive?
Well, nobody else is gonna drive my Chalmers, let me tell you.
Mary, the service is due to begin in a very few minutes.
Well, I'm going to stay right here in this room.
Is she coming?
The rest of you get in the cars. We'll come when we can.
Why don't they leave? You too, Hannah. I'm not going.
Then I'm staying.
If you are, please don't touch me. That miserable Ralph! Damn him! You were right, Hannah. God is coming to me a lot harder now. And Jay, too. I can't seem to find either of them. This necktie here. It was bought in Chattanooga someplace. When do you suppose? Sometimes when Jay would go off like that, he'd be said to be seen as far as Claiborne County. But Chattanooga? Whatever made Jay do it? Ever? The night we moved into this house, where did he go? And when he went to work for Papa in his office? Not the night Rufus was born, though. He was very dearly close to me then. But other times, when he'd feel himself being closed in, watched by superintendents, he'd say. And then there was always this special quietness about him afterward when he'd come home, as if he were very far away from where he'd been, but very far away from me, too, and keeping his distance, but working his way back.
Let the man rest, Mary.
I want him to rest.
Aren't you even going to the funeral?
Do you think he will rest simply by lowering him into the ground? Well, I won't watch. How can he, when he was lost on the very day he died?
You don't know that he was lost or drunk or what he was.
No, that's just what I don't know.
And that's what you can't bear.
I never knew. Not for sure. Well, there were times we all knew about, of course. But there were other times when it wasn't always whiskey, when he'd be gone for a night or a day or sometimes two, and I'd know he hadn't touched a drop. And it wasn't any of the other things that comes to a woman's mind, in case you're thinking that.
I wasn't thinking that.
Oh, those are easy enemies. It was Market Square. And talking to country people about country secrets that go way on back through the mountains. And anyone who'd sing his old songs with him, and all-night lunchrooms. What's an all-night lunchroom for, he'd say, except sitting in all night and drinking coffee so strong it'd burn your ribs. Those locomotives, I suppose, and railroad people, and driving fast. Even Charlie Chaplin. What's wrong with Charlie, he'd ask me. Not because he didn't know what I'd say, just to make me say it. He's so nasty, I'd say. He's so vulgar with his nasty little cane, hooking up skirts. And Jay, he would laugh. And he'd go off and he'd see Charlie Chaplin. And he wouldn't come home. Where he went, I can't possibly imagine. He'd never tell me. Oh, it was always easier to put everything down to whiskey.
To put it down to an enemy.
Why couldn't I let him have those things, whatever they were, if they meant something to him? Why can't I let him have them now? The dear. He always worked his way back.
And Hannah, we can't wait any longer.
In a minute, Andrew.
They must be suffocating out in those cars. I'm glad Ralph didn't tell me. I must just accept not knowing, mustn't I? I must let Jay have what I don't know. What if he was drunk? What in the world if he was? Did I honestly think that was a gulf? This is a gulf. Oh, Hannah. If he was drunk. Just if he was. I hope he loved being speeding along through the night, singing at the top of his lungs, racing because he loved to go fast, and racing home to us because he loved us, and for a time enjoying, reveling in a freedom that was his, that no place or person or nothing in this world could give him or take away from him. Let's hope that's how it was, Hannah. Let's hope that's how he looked death itself in the face. In his strength. That's what we'll put on the gravestone, Hannah. In his strength.
All the Way Home will conclude after these messages.
Priggish, mealy-mouthed son of a bitch. I tell you, Andrew, it's enough to make a man wreck up his soul.
Was it a lovely funeral, dear?
That Jackson, Father Jackson, as he insists on being called, not a word would he say over Jay's body, let alone read a service. Because Jay's never been baptized. It's against the rules of the church. Some church.
Andrew, is that something I should be hearing?
Absolutely not, Mama. Come on, Rufus.
You come to one simple, single act of Christian charity. And what happens? The rules of the church forbid it. He's not a member of our little club. I only care, mind you, for Mary's sake.
Joel, I don't know what you're saying, but I wish you wouldn't say it. Wait till we get home, dear, where what you say won't matter.
Good God. I tell you, Rufus, if anything ever makes me believe in God or life after death, it'll be what happened this afternoon in Greenwood Cemetery. Now, there are a lot of clouds, but they were blowing fast, so there's lots of sunshine, too. Right when they began to lower your daddy into the ground, into his grave, a cloud came over, and there was a shadow just like iron, and a perfectly magnificent butterfly settled on the coffin. Just rested there, right over the breast, and stayed there, just barely making his wings breathe like a heart. He stayed there all the way down, Rufus, until it grated against the bottom like a rowboat. And just when it did, the sun came out just a dazzling bright, and he flew up and out of that hole in the ground, straight up into the sky so high I couldn't even see him anymore. Don't you think that's wonderful, Rufus?
Yes, sir.
If there are any such things as miracles, then that's surely miraculous. Damn miracle.
Did you notice how many people were there, Hannah? I didn't know half of them. We don't always realize, do we, how many others love the people we love? Rufus says my face looks like my best china teacup. You know, Hannah, the one Jay mended for me so many times? He's beginning to say things like that now, and I don't know where he gets it from. People fall away from us, and in time, others grow away from us. That's simply what living is, isn't it?
Why don't you rest?
You're the one. You haven't stopped for 3 days now.
Oh, I'm not tired.
You must be dead. Oh, the words that come to mind.
No, not dead, just old. But I'm content to be.
Well, you're going to rest for a few minutes.
Well, there's supper to fix for that mob.
Not yet.
Well, maybe just for a moment.
Hannah, I love and revere everyone in this world who has ever suffered. I truly do. Even those who have failed to endure it.
I like the way you call me Hannah now instead of Aunt Hannah.
We're that much closer.
Oh, let me know when it's time to start again.
I will. Be with us all you can, my darling. My dearest. This is goodbye.
I quite agree with you, Joel.
I didn't say anything.
Well, somebody did.
What'd they say?
They said how fortunate we have been, you and I, to have lived for so many years without losing each other.
I did say it.
I must have been mistaken.
No. You weren't mistaken, Catherine. That's what I said.
Never mind, dear. How's your breath, Paul?
Pretty fair.
Oh, you can actually feel summer coming on.
At last.
One more thing, Andrew. Would you keep an eye on Ralph for the rest of the day? He has to drive his family back to La Follette tonight. We don't want any accidents. My. You can see all the way to North Knoxville. Rufus, Mama has wanted to see more of you these last few days, a lot more. But do you know how much your Mama loves you? With all her heart and soul, all her life. You know that, don't you?
Are we still gonna get the surprise, Mama?
Well, I promised you, didn't I? If you ever know me to break my promise, well then, the surprise will come, just as I said. You want to know what it's going to be, Rufus?
What?
A baby. You're going to have a baby sister, or it could turn out to be a baby brother. But I dearly hope it will be a sister. Isn't that wonderful?
Yes, Mama. But when can we get the baby?
Not for a long time yet. But Rufus, the time will pass quickly. A lot more quickly than you think. And when it does, and when she does come to us, I want you to help her all you can.
Why?
Because she'll be just beginning. She'll have so much to learn. I'm counting on you to teach her. Because you'll be so much older and have so much more experience. She'll be so tiny and lost, you see, and very delicate.
Like a butterfly?
Rufus, what a beautiful thing to say. A very grown-up way of putting it.
Look, Mama, there's a train crossing the viaduct.
We have to go home now, darling.
Let's just watch that train go by. Get on board. Little children, get on board. Little children, get on board. Little children, there's room for many and more. Get on board. Little children, get on board. Little children, get on board. Little children, there's room for many and more. Where's the baby now, Mama?
Up in heaven. No, it's not, Rufus. It's right here. It's right here, Rufus. You see, when a grown-up man and a grown-up woman love each other, truly love each other the way your mama and your papa did, then they get married. And that's the beginning of a family. It'll happen to you one day, Rufus, a lot sooner than you think. So I want you to listen very carefully to everything I'm going to tell you, because I think it's time that you knew. And I want you to ask questions, Rufus, if you don't understand. Will you do that for me, darling? Merry Christmas, and God bless and keep the very brave people in Poland.
The following movie has been rated G by the Motion Picture Association of America.